In any sport, a coach is a mentor, leader, and somewhat like a father figure to each player. The coach is a role model, showing persistence and patience. He's a person who experiences all the successes and failures with the team. But 2.5 years ago, CSGO was struck by the biggest cheating scandal in all of esports. Almost 50 coaches were banned for using a bug that allowed them to lock themselves at a certain point of a map and spend the whole game there. Now that emotions have cooled off and the scandal itself has become a part of history, we've decided to tell you who discovered the coach bug and how it changed CSGO forever. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe because you're watching CYBERSHOKE, and today we're going to dive deep into one of the darkest chapters of Counter-Strike history. There are rumors that some people knew about this bug for a long time. However, it was Michal who made it public, and since he's the most important person in this scandal, let's start the video by telling you a little bit about who he is. So at a young age, Michal wanted to become a professional esports athlete, but he didn't expect that the competition would be so high. Because of this, CS was always just a hobby for Michal, since he dedicated most of his time to studying computer science at his university. Nonetheless, he loved esports, and after getting a degree, moved to Cologne in order to work for ESL. After a few years, they promoted him to the referee position, where securing fair play in tournaments became his job. The tweet that started this whole thing was published by Michal on August 27, 2020. Here's what he said. CSGO coaching bug that allowed coaches to gain unfair competitive advantage has been part of the game since day one of introducing the coaching feature. It was fixed in 2017, but it seems to have returned at some point last year. Don't worry though, it's not undetectable, and there is a way to check if someone has abused this glitch, and if you did, it's probably as bad as cheating. So, good luck! At the start, Slovinsky's tweet didn't get much attention. There were just a couple of Tier 2 coaches who confirmed that they indeed encountered this bug. It needs a hot fix ASAP. It happens to every coach after every lost round after update. It was after a few days, on August 31st, when everyone received shocking news. 3 coaches were banned for the bug abuse. They were Zoner from Hard Legion, Dead from MIBR, and Hunden from Heroic. In Slowinski's words, he already analyzed more than 1,000 CSGO demos and wasn't planning on stopping anytime soon. While headlines were screaming about a disaster in CSGO, freshly banned coaches needed to somehow explain themselves. And while some tried to make excuses, others had enough guts to publicly admit their wrongdoings. The first coach who confirmed the bug abuse was Zoner. He admitted his mistake, expressed high remorse for his actions, and asked for only one thing: to not blame the players who didn't know what was going on. Many people didn't buy it though. For instance, Kerrigan, Seized, and Angel were 100% sure that all the players knew about the bug the whole time, and that Zoner just told them what to do in each game. Soon, Zoner was hired by Forze School for a coaching position, and while many people tried to completely cancel Forze for signing a cheater, they held firm with the decision they made. Zoner admitted his mistake and is very sorry for it. We are just giving him a chance to clear his name. Forze repeated this statement 1,000 times. Later, Dead also admitted his fault, but with one caveat. He stated that if he knew that it was possible to fix the bug by reconnecting to the server, he would have done that. We suggest that everyone decide for themselves whether they want to buy that a professional coach didn't think about reconnecting to the server while facing such an unfair and dirty bug. On the next day, the TOs of the North American RMR tournament, CS Summit, finished an investigation regarding Dead. They found evidence that he knew how to enable and disable the bug whenever he wanted, and that he also used it on RMR. His team was immediately disqualified and fined $2,500 and 1,200 RMR points. On September 3rd, ESIC helped Michal to speed up the process of demo analysis. Before that, he checked every game using a slow and laggy CSGO client, and now he used a software that was written exclusively for him by an ESIC programmer named Steve. Steve is a very non-public person, but it's worth mentioning that he played a critical role in exposing cheaters along with Michal. These two were working 12-hour shifts every day to analyze as many demos as possible. On the same day, a caster, tournament host, and ex-Cloud9 manager, Stunna, created a GoFundMe page to support Michal because he was doing a huge amount of extra work, basically for free. In total, the CSGO community donated more than $7,000. And check out some of the names that we were able to find there. Casters, Scott Smith, Machine, and Moses. Players, Nico, Davey, and Rush. Ex-Phase coach, Ianco. Co-founder of Big Christian, Lens. Journalist, Ryan Friend. And many other big donors who chose to be anonymous. On the 4th of September, ESIC announced that they would be conducting their own investigation regarding the coaching bug. They hired Michal and Steve as freelancers and gave them the task of analyzing more than 25,000 demos dating from 2016 onwards. Then it was announced that all the cheaters would inevitably be exposed and that they would have 10 days to come clean to receive less severe punishments. From that moment, confessions started to pop up. Mouse, for example, took only 15 hours and suspended their coach to make sure that he wasn't doing anything dirty under their wing. Soon, Valve reset RMR points for all the teams whose players were caught cheating. Their position was strict but fair. Recently, we've been made aware that several coaches of professional CSGO teams exploited a bug in the game in order to gain an advantage over their opponents. It is unfortunate and frustrating that we did not respond to this bug sooner. But bugs are the reality of software, and until they are resolved, we need to be able to trust players and coaches. We won't spend much time here reiterating our stance on the importance of integrity in CSGO matches. At a minimum, we expect that players and coaches will play by the rules and immediately pause the match and alert tournament admins if they know of an issue that may give them or an opponent an unfair advantage. Any teams that were disqualified for exploiting this bug during an RMR event will have their RMR points reset. In time, more and more coaches published their confessions, like PETA from NIP and Twista from ENTS. Moreover, PETA said that Valve knew about this bug way back in 2017, but they didn't do anything about it. He showed the Twitter message that he sent directly to the CSGO devs, though Slowinski is sure that Valve just didn't see it, since they get hundreds or maybe even thousands of DMs every day. On September 28th, ESIC released the first list of guilty coaches. They had banned 37 people now, many of whom were working in top-tier teams. The duration of bans varied from 11 weeks to 3 years. Of course, if ESIC is handling the case, there was bound to be a lot of problems. For example, Lamabot said that every time he encountered the bug, he immediately turned the bug off and contacted admins. But ESIC banned him anyways, without even asking for his side of the story. One more example. ESIC promised to reduce the ban time by 40% for those who confessed their use of the bug. NIP's coach, PETA, was experiencing so much guilt that he made his confession public, but he still didn't receive any less of a ban. Why? Well, because of ESIC regulations, he would have been required to contact them anyway. But on the contrary, there were cases when the commission was listening to the coaches. For instance, Guerry from Furia made a 30-minute long video where he proved that even though he had encountered this bug, he never abused it. ESIC took that in mind and reduced his ban time by 60%. Soon Lamabot also got unbanned, but of course his stained reputation couldn't be so easily wiped clean. It became clear that though ESIC worked very slowly and looked a bit unorganized, Counter-Strike needed it anyway. Just think about it. If Valve was not going to be the one handling these kind of things, then who would? Yeah, there were a lot of questions about their work. For example, ESIC stated that they contacted every coach and gave them all chances to excuse themselves. But Lamabot wasn't contacted, and he had to clear his name in public, receiving tons of hateful messages and even threats. But again, if it wasn't for ESIC, then all this mess would probably have been even more chaotic, and it would instead be up to every TO on a case-by-case basis. So what about Valve? Even having ESIC by their hand, the devs waited until January to accept ESIC's work and officially join in on their decision to ban all guilty coaches. Could the community attract Valve's attention without ESIC? That's a very good question. Last spring, this scandal arose again. It was Slowinski who published not one, but 3 new ways to activate the coach bug. Richard Lewis then said that he knows about at least 27 guilty coaches who still hadn't been punished at all. This information was confirmed by Region, one of the coaches who used this bug the most. Then, ESIC accused 3 more coaches, Peacemaker, Zach, and Hallie from Team Spirit. Dragons tried their best to defend Hallie and pointed out that even on ESIC's video, it's clear that Hallie didn't abuse the bug and had zero intentions to get an unfair advantage, but that wasn't enough for ESIC or the major TO, so they made him skip out on the major. But it looks like that nowadays, this scandal has finally ended. There are no more claims that someone else will be banned in the future, and now people are much more wary about getting into any kind of dirty situations like these. Please let us know in the comments whether you want us to continue telling interesting stories like this from CSGO. And of course, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Bye for now.